Mike from Cavill. Firstly, before I get started on anything, I want to say sorry, a wholehearted sorry, because I've not been on here as regularly as I should have done, and I promised. So, first of all, there's an apology there, and we will be putting that right. So every Thursday, roughly around about lunchtime, we're coming on live, and we're coming here to talk about everything to do with your people, how to get the people right in your business. And there's one core reason behind that. And that reason is that, look, the people in your business, whether you're a one man band, whether you've got 10, 20, 50, 100 more employees in your business, doesn't matter what size, it doesn't matter what sector, industry you're in. The people in your business will be the biggest asset. They'll also be the most expensive asset in your business. And they have the biggest impact on what's happening in your business today. If you have the wrong people in your business, that can be toxic. If you have the right people in your business, that can be magic, right? So, with that in mind, why should you even listen to me on this particular subject? If you don't know who I am, if you've not seen me before, you've never heard of us before, that's perfectly fine. That's my fault. I take responsibility for that. But I've been working in HR for over 18 years. It may not look like it from my youthful complexion, but I've been working in HR for over 18 years. And I've been working in multiple different industries across the UK. And we've been coming across multiple different kind of problems within businesses of different sectors, different industries, and different sizes. So I've supported organizations or teams with over 1,000 staff or more. I've helped to make changes within businesses that have impacted over 500 staff in one particular foul swoop. So I've been doing this for quite some time, and it sounds crazy because outside of my bubble, so to speak, when I talk to anybody else, especially if this is you, you're a finance manager, business owner, or an ops manager or director, you quite often find in a small business that this kind of feature, this functionality comes on your shoulders. And it's probably one of the biggest pains in the ass that you've ever had, and you don't like it. And I love it. So I absolutely love what I do. And the reason for that is because of the variety that it gives me. Now, that's enough about me. I want to talk today. Today's topic is around probationary periods. So for us, this is something that we see quite a lot within small businesses, especially when we start working with clients. It's obviously probationary periods are used quite widely, and that's good. That's a good thing. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's used quite widely, but a lot of small employers, when they use them, when we come on board with them initially, they don't really fully understand what they're meant to be using it for. They use it more as a safety capture, something to help them if they've made a screw up or a mistake in hiring somebody. It's the wrong person, it's not working, something else has happened. It's a good kind of capture, get out to obviously go through probationary process before someone becomes a fully fledged employee in your business, right? So I think actually that's missing a trick. It's not actually what the probationary period should be doing. It's part of it. It's part of it, but it's not the entirety of it, which means there's quite a lot of this process that you're probably missing, and you wouldn't be alone. So I'm not out there saying judging like you are bad, you're wrong, you're missing this big part of what a probationary period is meant to be for. You're not. It's quite normal. It's endemic within a lot of small employers that we talk to that they have them in place, but they're literally just a security blanket if they made a screw up in the recruitment or something's gone wrong or changed over that course of period of time. Like, you can have probationary periods can change in terms of how long you've got that probationary period in place. So some will have a 6 month probation. Some companies will have three. Some companies have 12-month probationary periods. Some will vary it depending on what role you're talking about. So if you've got a more senior role, you might want to have a longer time period in terms of probationary period. Whereas if you've got a really junior role, you might say actually 3 months is perfectly fine. Now, the reason and how you would define what would be the most appropriate time frame isn't by how long do I want to give it to see if I need to get rid of this person, to give me that kind of window of opportunity, that security blanket. It's there for a purpose. It's there for a reason. So if you haven't yet done any of our other training before and you've not heard of me before, we've got a training program called Hire Slow, Fire Fast. Hire Slow, Fire Fast. I have to tell myself that the right way around constantly because you'll be amazed at how many times I get that confused. But the whole premise, the whole point about the I've lost track of what I was saying there. The whole point behind that particular training program is about how you take your time to make sure you're capturing the right person, the right people, and bringing the right people into your teams, into your fold, into your family, your working family, your business, your baby. How are you bringing the right person in? Take your time to get the right person on board. And then converse to that, when you realize that in actual fact something's not working, it's not the right person, perhaps another most common feature that we see, you have the wrong person in the wrong role in the wrong business, that you actually act fast on that. So what tends to happen in a lot of businesses, they get that the wrong way round. They're very quick to fill a gap. Urgent, we need to recruit. It's a difficult market right now. There's somebody in and on board because we've got a lot of work to do. But then they're really slow in exiting somebody from the business that's actually not the right fit, not the right person. It's not a person's fault, by the way. You brought them in. So they're taking their time to get that person out. And the whole point of the probationary period here should be to be utilized as an extension to that interview process. So we were talking to a client yesterday, and it's quite interesting when we're talking about things like, for example, how to recruit effectively, how to get the right people on board. One of the things they struggle with is obviously trying to find or getting the right person, and they're quite junior roles a lot of the time, so they tend to get a lot of turnover. So one of the concerns they had is how do they do that? How do they've got probationary periods in place as well, but how do they do that? And the problem is like with the interview processes, going through those processes, these are not foolproof. These are fallible processes. It's a sales process. A person is selling you as to why they should be the right person and candidate to take on that job. And you're selling the business as to why this is the right place for them to come and work. You're both trying to sell each other. It's a fallible process. The probationary period is what we call the put your money where your mouth moment is. Like, you said all this to me. You've told me you can do all these things. You've got this experience of doing these different bits and pieces and whatever it is that you've done and so on and so forth. Well, that's great. And you've told me you're this kind of person. And that seems to be the kind of person that will fit within our team and the kind of character and values that we're looking for. Well, let's put you to the test. Let's see how that actually works. And the whole point of this probationary period should be to show and demonstrate someone's suitability for the role. If you're not using that, if you're not setting up objectives, if you're not measuring what good looks like, what is the ideal outcome at the end of that 3 month, 6 month, 12-month process? If you're not measuring that particular process, it's almost like me going out and buying a car for the first time without ever test driving it and just having that window in case I want to return it. And I'm not going to drive it at all throughout that period of time. You should be looking to monitor how someone is performing in that role. Are they meeting the core objectives? You want to build them into it. You don't want to bring somebody in. And I've had this before where you get a pile of folders on a desk and saying, there you go, thank you very much, toilets. So that way, exits are over there. That's gym over there. Have a great day. You don't want to bring somebody in and do that to them. No, you want to stagger that process, but you definitely want to be measuring if that person is capable of being able to do that role. If at the end of that probationary period, you are confident that if you sign this off and you say, yes, I'm willing to approve this person to pass their probationary period, are they actually capable of doing that job? Do you have confidence at the end of that process? So through the whole CV application, interview process, maybe you've done tests, assessment centers, whatever you've done, and then you've got to the point of doing the probationary period, you should be looking to show over the whole stretch of that that this is the right person for the right role for the right business that I've got in front of me now. You should be able to say that with confidence. And the only way to do that is to set clear, concise, smart objectives for that person to complete over that period of time. You should be looking to measure how that person is performing against that. And another key thing that we always talk about is I can sit in front of a desk for 7.5 hours, have a lunch, and do nothing, produce very little at the end of the day. It will bore the crap out of me, yes, but I can do that. I can do that. So the fact that I've sat somewhere doesn't mean I've done anything. So when you're looking at objectives, when you're looking at measuring, you should be measuring activity. You should be measuring output of what a person is doing. Whether it's sales, how many calls are you making? Whether it's on a production line, how many widgets are you making? How many things are you passing through? How many posts have you made over the past week? Or how many clients have you supported? How many have you helped this process through this business through this particular process that you're meant to be supporting them on, or whatever service or products you're offering? Whatever the role is, you should be able to break down those minute objectives, and it should be designed in such a way that you are confident that by the end of that period, whether it's 3, 6, 12 months, whatever that is, that person is capable of doing that job. They're the right person for the team, the people they're working around. Don't forget, it's not just about measuring experience, qualifications, and skills. It's also about measuring the person, the individual. Are they the right individual for your team and your business? If I went and got Lionel Messi and I put him in Eastleigh Football Club, yeah, he's going to look like an absolute superstar whiz kid around all the other football players. But does that mean Eastleigh is going to get promoted? Not necessarily so, right? So you want to make sure you got the right person for the right role and for the team and the business that they're in. And the way to do that is your probationary periods. Now, again, the whole point of this is yes, you can find sometimes that when you've brought that person into your business and they're not able to meet those objectives, maybe they've got a lot of sickness absence throughout that period of time. Maybe they're just struggling to get to grips with the actual role and the nature of what they're meant to be doing. Whatever that case may be, you may get to a point where you need to actually say enough is enough and actually look to move that person on for failing the probationary period. That may happen. But what you should always be looking to do, as I've said to our client previously, is to learn, reassess, and review what you did and how that could work better to make sure that you're not getting that turnover, even at the place of probationary periods. You should be constantly looking to learn and evolve through that process. But again, look, if you're not measuring anything during that probationary period, if you're not setting out any objectives, and you're just bringing somebody in, going through a basic induction process and leaving them there with their manager for 3 months, and you've got not measuring anything, and then by default they pass, or because something else has happened, they fail. If you're not measuring anything, you've got nothing to actually base your decisions on in the future. So you've got to be looking to constantly learn, adapt, evolve, and you've got to be looking to support your staff. At the end of the day, it sounds like a lot of donkey work. I get that. That's another thing that we get back a lot from a lot of people. Look, the fact of the matter is if you're a manager and you're in a managerial post, well, guess what? Managing is part of your job and part of your remit. So this features as part of that particular process for you, right? And what I would say is at the end of the day, if I'm there and responsible, or you as a business owner or whoever you are responsible for the success of those teams or the business as a whole, well, I want to make sure I've got the right people helping to drive that. The key to my success as a business or my failures as a business is completely predicated on the people within that business, including you. And you want to take your time to make sure if I was looking for someone to babysit my children or my baby, I want to make sure that person I've got there is absolutely the right damn person to do that particular job role, right? You should be doing exactly the same with these particular posts in your business, taking that time and using the probationary periods in the correct way to make sure you're getting some kind of hard data back here to make a decision on and to get feedback and learn and evolve from. So look, everybody, that's the end of my spiel, so to speak, right now. I want to just put that out there that again, we're looking to create training. We're on a mission to help and support all businesses, all underline, underscore, put it in bold, all businesses to create environments that people want to be a part of. We know that makes a massive difference to the people, but to the business also. Right. So to do that, the best way I can get in contact with as many businesses and people as I can is through things like I'm doing right now for you right here. Look, if this has been helpful, if this has been supportive, then please give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe on whatever platform you're seeing me on, and please hit me up, give me a DM, give me a message, let me know if there's any pertinent issues that you would like to have answered right now. If you got any questions of what's happening in your business, perhaps maybe you're frustrated having to deal with and babysit the people in your business, and you have a constant problem that keeps coming up with people all the time, and you would like to be able to get an answer to that. Let me know, and we will put that into one of our weekly sessions. And if you're happy, we can actually have you on live here with me so we can do it together with everybody, if that's okay with you, not breaching any confidentiality. Well, of course. Look, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend. The beginning of October, great month of my birthday, and Halloween. Not the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. Anyway, have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.